Welcome to episode 33 of What If Civilization Started Over. Hopefully the audio does not break this time. Anyways, though, we are going to be... Wait, let me remove this apple first. It should not be here. There was no major... Wait. Okay, there was major city there. Anyways, to start out this episode, we are going to be in Europe. We're coming over to the orange and this pink country. They have been at war before and they're about to go to war again as the orange country pushes into the pink country and quickly pushes into these two major cities because the pink country did not see this coming. Why did they not see this coming even though they hate the orange team? Because their leaders are actually stupid. So with this, the capital gets surrounded pretty quickly. And the capital gets taken. With this is a push to the final two major cities. And soon after, the country will surrender. And in the treaty, the orange team is going to be taking a lot of the pink team's land as they take... I almost used the wrong color. They take all of this from them. And there's a pixel somewhere that's... Okay, it's right there. So they would take all of that land from the pink team. Leaving the pink team with just these few areas here. They still do have three major cities though. But two of them, including the capital, are on the border of the orange team, which shortly after this invasion, they are actually going to join the Square Alliance. They join the Square Alliance. Speaking of alliances, we are going to see the creation of another alliance. This alliance is going to be the Diamond Alliance. It's not showing what. That's not the right thing I wanted. That's what I want. Oh, and now undo. That'll be the Diamond Alliance. And it will be formed by the Swiss country. And joining this alliance. That's an ugly. Let me fix that. Actually, wait. Maybe it's just the capital and major cities that are doing that. No, it's just ugly. Okay, let's fix that. There, that's better. That'll be the Diamond Alliance, made by AG, aka Switzerland, and join this alliance will be the Italy country, this brown country over here, which means that we can remove the defensive pact, as now they are just in a foreign alliance together. And also the Greek country down here will be joining. Now Italy and the brown country join because they share good relations with the Swiss country, and Greece joins because they historically have shared good relations with Italy, and recently they've been improving relations a lot with the Swiss country. However, that's not the only alliance forming, because there's another alliance forming, and that is the Triangle Alliance. And that alliance is between this country here. That's the wrong color. Between this country here and the country to the south of it, this country here. These two form an alliance. At the moment it's just these two, but they are hoping to add some more members in the future. And over here, something interesting happens, and that is this country up here actually leaves the Star Alliance. This is because the relations between them and the other stars, mostly the red team, have been getting worse as it just has happened. Also, this should be gone because these countries are the countries that this was between are dead. Let me remove that. Anyways, now we will be heading over to China, which in the last episode they got invaded, and they are not that stable, and we see some groups start to declare independence. The first of which is over here, where we see this area, a massive area over here, in fact, declare independence. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. As China was left incredibly weakened after the war, and a lot of these areas are taking this as a chance to get independence. Soon after, we see an area over here declares independence. And if that wasn't bad enough for China, there's also an area up here that's declaring independence that contains the city of Cheese. Now, China will try to fight back against these, but it doesn't go too well as their military was left incredibly weak, with most of them having died in the war. Also, that should not be that color. And okay, now they're invading. Okay, you know what? They're just going to invade into China now. This country decides to take this as a chance to invade into China. Also invade into this part over here because they want land. Okay, now it's so they start invading into this breakaway. Now China will push them back over here a bit, but not all the way. This rebellion, though, which proves to be stronger than China as they push this part almost fully out of. They push this country almost fully out of them. with just these areas they still control. And soon we see another area declare independence up here. And things are not going very well for China. As this rebellion will push further into them, taking this major city over here. With this, the Chinese government is going to let these go. However, the people over here don't really like that, so they decide to, that's too close to that color there. They decide to declare independence. Actually, that's too close to that color down there. There, we can do this blue color. They decide to declare independence. And that is where this will finish off, but the provinces are not exact if you look at the province map. Looking at that, they're going to have to come to some deals over these provinces. I think I'm just going to do that off camera. So expect these wars to look different in the next episode. Anyways, though, this country here will, for now, get these parts. And heading on over to, not back to Europe, but heading over to this area here. The Green France country and the Red Brittany country, they do not like each other at all. They both want to have both parts, both this area over here in Yemen and this area over here in Djibouti or Eritrea, or I think this is Djibouti here and then Eritrea is like up here. Or is Djibouti further? I don't know, but the Green French country wants to have that, and the Red Brittany country wants to have this part of Yemen. And also, I just realized that the capital of the Green country that used to be here is still there. Let me remove that. As there is no, that is not the Red Team's capital. Their capital is up here. Anyways, though, they both want this. So, when an opportunity comes, that being a ship from the Green French country crashes over here as the captain fell asleep while driving. He was a terrible captain. But he crashes over here, and the Brittany country is going to claim that the Green French country attacked them, while Green France claims that that boat was actually attacked by the Brittany country, and that's what led to crash. Now, as this war starts, we actually see the Egg country invite both of the leaders over and discuss keeping the conflict over here in the colonies, to which both of them will agree to do so. Now, Brittany is in an alliance, obviously, so they will be, that's not the way, oh yeah, I just turned on the wrong layer. So obviously they will be getting help from their alliance members. However, Green France is also going to get some help from members. Those contain the Dutch, which is not like the Red Brittany country. They used to own the Red Brittany country before it broke away, and they also have their own dispute over land here. We also see the Scottish country help out as they're friends with the Dutch country. the blue country over here lost it. They won't send any troops, but they will send supplies to Green France, as they don't like the pink country over here. And the two most interesting countries helping out the Green French country are, first of all, Egg. They decided to join the war to try to get some of this land over here. And also, most interestingly, the Nordic Union will in secret send supplies to Green France. This is because Green France is stronger than Brittany, and they don't want Green France and Egg getting close, as they don't like Egg, and Egg doesn't like them. So they won't send any troops, so they will send supplies in secret without Egg knowing. Anyways, though, these two countries here are going to send out their navies into this area, and they start fighting as they push against each other over and over again, until eventually the Green French country gets the upper hand and starts pushing over, with the Brittany country's navy getting pushed back over here. They will try to make an attack from over here, but that doesn't go very well as they get pushed back. And the Green French country will go over here and take this island. Just because they can. They don't really care about this island, but then they proceed to make a landing over here and quickly take this city. This city, I'm pretty sure, used to be the capital of the Yellow Team before it got colonized. With this, the Red Team will send a bunch of troops over to push back, and they manage to push the Green French off of them, but soon after, the Egg troops start going over. They are mostly interested in this area down here by the coast, as they push up towards these major cities here and take both of them. Egg is the strongest country in the world. However, there is a country that is getting close to. There are a few countries that are pretty close. Those consist of the Dutch, the Nordic Union, the Indonesian country over here. They're all pretty close. Anyways, though, the pink country, Egg, takes this whole area here. And meanwhile, the Dutch also send troops in over here, which goes down and takes this city here. Then they send troops in from over here that quickly push into this area here, taking these two major cities. And this is mostly what the Dutch wanted, and this is mostly what Egg wanted from this. However, as this was happening, it makes it so the Green French can make another landing here and start pushing around. As they push over here, they also manage to destroy what's left of the Brittany's navy here. They still have more naval ships over here, but they would have to go all the way, but they're busy going all the way around. Meanwhile, over here in the colony over here, they also have disputes over here, which they are taking care of. Mostly the Green French are taking care of, as they push into this area here. Things are not going well for Brittany, as their allies are really not doing much to help. Yes, they're sending some troops, but not much. And along with that, the countries helping out Green France are a lot stronger than the allies of Brittany. So things don't go well for them. And they will decide to agree to give this area over here over to the Green French and this major city here over in return for peace. They will also have to give some land over to the Dutch and the Egg Country. But they knew that they were going to win this one aside. It was better to surrender now and keep most of their land than to continue fighting and possibly lose their entire colonies. So this major city here will be given over to the Green French team and this province around it. They'll also be given this province here. And they also get this island here. What the? Meanwhile, over here, they get this area along here, where they had a dispute before. Meanwhile, Egg will get this area along color. This area along here, again, these provinces here. As Egg gets all of that, there's a bit of cleanup here that needs to be done, but I think I'm going to do that off camera. And the Dutch get what they want from this, that being this area along here. Now, if Egg had stayed neutral, or or a different country owned this over here, then owns the Suez Canal, then Brittany probably could have fought a lot longer, but due to the fact that they couldn't send them and their allies could not send their navy through here, along with that, this country here was blocking them from going through here, which meant that only really this country here could go through the Suez Canal. But if that had not been the case, then Brittany probably would have continued fighting a lot longer. But now we have these being the borders. Anyways, going over to the Americas here, we are going to see a lot of these countries do a lot of exploring of North America. As they explore north towards Alaska. And expand along that. Meanwhile, the Nordic Union will also do some exploration, finding these islands down here, and going down here into this area. As the Americas now have all of this discovered, us to get more of this sound discovered. No, not them. They discover themselves, apparently. With that, these countries are going to work out how this should look. First of all, the Dutch is going to cut off the Pink team from expanding much more as they take all of this. The Pink team does manage to get a little bit, though. Anyways, in the deal, this area here will go over to the Indonesian country. The Dutch will get a lot of land as well, going up to this lake here. And we'll get all of this. They will also get a bit past this lake, as they get all of this area here as well. As for the rest of this, including this area here, this will all go to the Nordic Union, which gets all of this here, along with a lot of these islands. All the discovered islands so far. So basically, got some ice. I need to put major cities around here now. There's a lot more now than there was before, especially in Yugor's colony. Well, actually, this is multiple colonies, kind of like in real life the British colonies over here. A lot of these, there are multiple. A lot of these countries, their colonies are multiple colonies. However, if I refer to them in one colony in the video, that's just because it's easier. Anyways, heading over to Australia. It's about time that this got fully explored. So we see mostly Europeans, the European countries doing this will be revealed later, explore the coast along it, and basically everything that's not coast is not really inhabitable, so I'm just going to call it this color because no one's going out there. Along with that, New Zealand is discovered. But in fact, New Zealand, the country that discovered New Zealand isn't even one of the countries that discovered the rest of Australia. New Zealand got discovered by the Irish country, surprisingly. As for the rest of the continent, the first country we see gain land is Egg, who will get this area along here. Going up to the Indonesian country. Another country we see gain land is the Dutch. And the final country gain land from this, they will be over here, is the... Guess who it is before I tell you. 3, 2, 1. Okay, did you all make a guess? Well, if you guessed... I'm giving you a bit more time to guess. Ha ha ha. Okay, anyways, if you guessed Italy, you would be correct, as they get some land over here. With this, Egg will get all of this. Italy will get this area here. This area will go to the Indonesian country. And the rest will go to the Dutch, who also actually got that tiny bit there. That totally wasn't because I accidentally clicked there. They also actually got, actually looks like this. That's actually, okay, that's what the colonies look like. Anyways, heading over to Asia, we are going to see a country form right here. This country is formed by people from the Dutch team that do not like living in this colony a lot, and so they flee up here to form their own country. There's a lot of them as well. These are mostly people from the old, actually wait, is the provinces even going to show on this? Okay, you can kind of see provinces. Anyways, these are mostly people from the old Grey team. There's also some from the Swiss's colony, and they flee up here to make this new country here. Whose borders currently look like this. We also see this country here expands a little bit, along with these two countries here doing some expansion. As this country moves over towards here, and this country moves into this area. Anyways, that's part of what's happening over here. Another thing that's happening over here is this country's been doing this. They actually probably had it discovered a while ago, but all of this is now discovered. And they have also expanded into a lot of this land, as they now look like this. So they've grown a lot. Actually, this... Now, most of the land is just ice, so they're not that strong, but they have in fact grown big. Another country that has been exploring Russia is this country down here by this lake here, who is exploring into these parts of Russia. And also doing a lot of expansion as they expand along here and up into over here. Now looking like that. Now the only gray left on this map is over here and over here. Anyways, we also see these countries over here do some expanding, especially this blue country. Also, I just realized how similar this color and the Caucasus Empire's color are. We also see some expanding happening from this country here, as they cut this country down here off. But on the topic of the Caucasus Empire, some people living in them don't want to live in them anymore. So what do? Well, the thing that people do when they don't want to live in a country, they move countries. So they all move over to this country, just kidding, they move up here and make their own country. As we see this bluish Russian country show up. Now they take a lot of land, which is not a good idea. And we see why it's not a good idea, as we see this northern break off from it. The blue country will push back into some of this land, but won't be able to take all of it back, just this area over here. Anyways, that is where this episode will end. So, thank you for watching. hopefully the audio recorded, and goodbye.